Alike.
People often think my sister and I look alike.
As babies, the twins looked so much alike that I just couldn't tell them apart.
You look so alike that it's easy to mix you up.
The children all look very alike.
Staff and children, alike reused paper, photocopied on both sides, and shredded waste paper.
Alike.
Annoy.
The flies buzzing around John's head annoyed him very much. They may choose clothes that annoy their parents. The flies buzzing around John's head annoyed him very much. I bet she was annoyed at having to write it out again.
She was slightly annoyed by his comment.
Annoy. Architecture.
The architecture of this building is so beautiful.
The application of scientific techniques to architecture is possible. Stone architecture was often integral with stone sculpture.
The mansion, that is a paradigm example of Georgian architecture, is bordered by arcade gardens that cover more than an acre of land.
He gained many achievements in architecture.
Architecture.
Artificial.
That soccer field has artificial grass, but it looks real.
A number of methods of artificial propagation of fish are used in agriculture and aquaculture.
You would be surprised at the artificiality of international boundaries.
Farms use chemical fertilizers, hybrid seeds, and artificial insemination, and weedicides.
That soccer field has artificial grass, but it looks real.
Artificial.
Chain.
The prisoners were kept in chains.
She has built up a chain of 180 bookshops across the country.
We discovered a major flaw in the metal chain.
The restaurant chain has just celebrated an opening ceremony for a new restaurant.
In nuclear fission, atoms of uranium fuel are hit by neutrons, triggering a continuous chain of fission that releases heat.
The whole food chain is affected by the overuse of chemicals in agriculture. A snakebot is built like a chain made of about 30 modules.
I don't support fast food chains.
Natural interconnections between food chains make it a food web.
Chain.
Distinct.
Man is distinct from animals.
Each animal has a personality distinct.
With erudite scholars establishing courses, based on the goal of training a distinctly academic elite.
This book is divided into two distinct parts. There are many distinctions between elite and popular culture.
Distinct.
Distinguish.
The twins look exactly the same. It is hard to distinguish between them. The twins look exactly the same. It is hard to distinguish between them.
Different words with the same spelling are distinguished in this dictionary by superscript numbers.
Could he distinguish right from wrong? Some people cannot distinguish colors well.
Distinguish.
Dust.
In the old house, the dust was thick on the floor and chairs.
It is claimed the dust pollutes water supplies.
There are piles of dusty books.
We are just specks of dust in galaxy.
A cloud of dust rose as the truck drove off.
Dust. Dust.
Heel.
After my broken arm heals, I can play baseball again. The research showed that those who were bullied were at higher risk of long-term mental health problems.
It is not small food production, but large-scale factory farming that presents a threat to our health.
A healthy diet can lessen the risk of heart disease.
Do Quan have any health problems?
Heal.
Inherit.
She inherited her mother's gold earrings.
There are about 4,000 inherited human genetic diseases. You will inherit money from your father.
He has no son to inherit his land.
If you are a UK resident, you are liable to inheritance tax on your assets worldwide.
Inherit.
Mount.
His fear mounted as the monster crawled out from under his bed. The Matterhorn is one of the biggest mountains in Europe. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. You didn't mean to hurt her.
It takes a long time to climb to the top of the mountain. There are many horror stories about the eastern slopes of the mountain.
Mount.
Roof.
The roof was covered with snow.
Not all roofing problems are caused by leaks. Condensation may also be a problem.
The roof was covered with snow.
Tornadoes demolish trailers and blew roofs off houses.
The roof was leaking, and I had to use a bucket to catch the drips.
Roof.
Shortage.
Since there was a shortage of food, people were hungry. There was a shortage of schools and hospitals.
The difference between success and failure, most definitely, is not about a shortage of ideas that are good.
The shortage of maths teacher is a problem. There is a shortage of affordable housing.
Shortage.
Solid. The planet Jupiter may have no solid surface at all. Her colleagues were solidly behind her. Solids turn to liquids at certain temperatures. Bundles of fiber scopes fused together, in a solid plate, called a faceplate. solid,
stock,
They keep a stock of rice so they'll always have something to eat.
Investors should read the contract note after each stock transaction to identify and solve any possible errors.
One thing I wasn't sure of was whether we had enough yellow banana in stock. The bonds were sold through a stockbroker.
They are useful for stock management and can produce itemized bills and receipts.
stock,
Substance. Water is an important substance for all living things. Analysis of the substance confirms the presence of nitrogen.
Calcium is an absorbable substance.
Petrol is a volatile substance.
The products incorporate a medicinal substance as an integral part.
Substance.
tomb,
Their whole family is buried inside the tomb. Their whole family is buried inside the tomb. He had a vigil in front of the tomb for 3 days. Last week we paid a visit to the tomb of an unknown Mandarin.
The archaeologists chanced upon an old tomb.
tomb,
Wound.
He had many wounds after the car accident. In times of war, the Red Cross is dedicated to reducing the sufferings of wounded soldiers. There were 79 killed and 230 wounded. These wounds they will not heal.
The wound began to ulcerate.
Wound. Manner. The thief followed this manner night after night.
He buys motorbike by monthly payment manner.
Madonna has used her outspoken manner to try to curb online piracy.
Circular 71/2018 stipulates the manner to hold a meeting.
His manner of not looking at someone while speaking is a bit rude.